I don't think I should be muted. How did that get muted? Hi, everybody. It's me. How are you? Good to see you. I'm glad you like waffles. is is Mark here? I don't know. Is Mark here? I'm not sure. I don't know that I think he confirmed for I'm talking to Emmy right now, so we're having a private conversation right in front of you, which is really rude. I'm so sorry. So yeah, that's what happens, I guess, when you update the software. It automatically mutes all your microphones for you, which is just so nice. I think I should be unmuted now. Yes, Emmy, I think so. It looks like I'm getting out. It appears as though I am, and that would be a good thing because my little meter is peaking. Let's see. Let's take a look at the. Let's take a look. You can see that there's the little meter right there. You can barely see it. It's showing that I am peaking. And speaking of peaking, look at this guy right here. It's peeking out around me to say hello. There's Mr. Funko. Mr. Funko indeed. So it's great to be back here. I have been busy. As you may have known, you may have noticed, I have been on the road a lot. And boy, do I have some stories. Let me tell you. I had last couple of months, I had a real planes, trains, and automobiles kind of going, an experience. It was just wild. It was pretty chaotic. I'm going to blog about it. I keep talking about blogging about it, but I will, I promise, and then I'll link you to it so you can you can see what happened to me. All kinds of interesting things, and some very nice people helped me get through it. And I appreciate them for that. And thank you, Emmy. It's good to know that I'm getting out there. So lots of questions, so many questions, and so little time, so to speak. I don't have any fabulous programming for you today, except to talk about some upcoming conventions. Pretty much, I think all of these have been announced. I've kind of announced them, but you may have missed it, so I'm going to announce them again and let you know all in one place. And yeah, I mean, here's an interesting question. I'll take this. Cold Summer, hey, how are you? Good to see you. Did you get a new camera? The view looks better. This is actually the same old camera, the same old M50. We haven't done the rig tour in a while, so let's do that, shall we? I haven't done this tour in a bit. Speaking of a minute, it has been a while. So I'm going to put up this little tour that we show. This shows all the equipment. People keep asking me about this stuff, and I every once in a while will take you on a tour. And here we go. Here we have the Canon M50 with a Sigma 16 millimeter f1.4 lens. That's that right there, and that's a great camera and a great lens. And that's how I get the blurred background back here. It looks nice and cool, nice and photographic, nice and cinematic, man. Let's see what else. We've got the MacBook Pro M1 Max is the machine behind all this. You can't really see it. You can see the keyboard right there, but it's over there in the corner, on the corner of the desk. After that, we have the iPad Pro. That's what this is. And I use that for, especially when I'm doing streamily stuff and everything else, doing my signing thing, and I'll go through the store and figure out what everybody wants and sign that. Let's see, and the next thing would be the Stream Deck XL, which is all these buttons right here, and I push them to. This one will send me back to this camera, right? Yes. This button over here will send me right there. And yeah, I mean it's like the control panel. Oh, two different zooms. That's interesting. But yeah, Stream Deck is a very cool thing to have. It's like I could not do this without the Stream Deck. It would be much more difficult, I have to say. Then there's this mic right here, the Shure SM7B, which is a very popular podcasting microphone. Lots of bang for the buck, really is. And then I've got a thing that gives some oomph to the microphone, which you need to get into the system, the computer system, and that's the Cloud Lifter Z mic activator. That's this guy back here with the big fancy looking knob on it there. Yeah, it's good stuff. Works great. And then, last but not least, I've got the Tascam Mini Studio US42, which is this interface. It's the USB interface that sends the signals from my microphone into the Macintosh and then out from there. So that is the tour that we haven't had in, it's been a while. It has been a while and a half. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I've got some announcements to make for conventions, and I think I'll go ahead and do that, and then maybe recap it later. Before I get started, I wanted to tell a lot of you that who have done live chats, live video chats. I am way behind on my screen grabs right now. My sincerest apologies, but things have been really chaotic, and I've been so busy that that's just one of those things that I have not had a chance to get to. Other things have kind of gotten in the way, and so yeah. But I appreciate your patience on that. But I will get to you. I will get to you. I hope to get you those before I leave for the next convention, and I'm actually going to be leaving on Wednesday because it's a 4-day convention. One of those, and I'll tell you about those in a second. Let's catch up with what everybody's talking about here. And first of all, thank you, Daniel Bessels, for 500 stars. I appreciate you. And if you want to send me some stars, you will see a pinned post probably at the top of the live stream that talks about how to support my page by sending stars. And sending stars does not mean sending an emoji stars thing in the text. It's actually a thing that you buy for me, a little gifty. For a few pennies, you can send me some stars, some appreciation, and it helps me to keep this going. Let's see here, and let's see. I need to spell things correctly. Oh, and there. Speaking of Daniel Bessels, how are you? It was so great to see you in Anaheim. He says earlier this month. Great to see you too, as always. Thank you for coming. I see Daniel all over the place. He likes to travel. I love that. He says my girlfriend loves the video message you did for her, and about her art. And yeah, that was fun. That was good art. I appreciate it. And Daniel says, "Thank you for everything, Bob. Always great to see you at conventions. Always great to see you at conventions. I'm always impressed at how much people love to travel and go to these conventions and collect things. And I'm glad that I am a part of that. Thank you for including me. I appreciate you. Let's see here. And here's a question. Luke asks, "Hey Bob, hey Luke. Speaking of Wests, hey Bob West, do you remember every cameo you do? I still have one you made, and it was the best. Thank you. I remember your name. I don't specifically remember the cameo itself, but because there's been like, what has it been? 700 something, I think, that I've done, so it's a little tough to remember individual ones. But thank you for purchasing a cameo shout out from me. I appreciate that. I think I'll put up the URL for that later on so that people know where to find it. Although right now I'm on a little cameo break because things have just been so busy. I've got to catch up before I can start doing that again. So thank you again for your patience, but I will be back on Cameo, I think, in about a week, a week and a half, something like that, somewhere in there. So let's see what else. And I'm going to look at this, and Jackson says, "Oh, hey, Jackson, how are you? Nice to see you. Did you get a haircut? You look good, bud. Thank you. I did not get a haircut. I'll tell you the truth. This is pillow head hair. You see, all flat on the sides. So I took a nap this afternoon just because I needed one, and I haven't been good about napping or anything. I'm terrible about taking naps. I'm like a toddler. I throw a tantrum with myself. I don't want to take a nap, but I do anyway. Because sometimes you just have to, and it's actually a healthy thing to do. So yeah, that's Pillowhead. That's what you're seeing. You're also seeing the mullet The development of the mullet here. It's coming out. It happens. Oh man. It's pretty funny. I've been so busy that I really need to get a haircut. And in the back, it's like I'm what used to be known as a DA, which is very, very long in the back. It's actually kind of a boat tail. It's longer in the back than it is over here on the sides because I trim the sides. You just don't get to see the back. It's just kind of stick it down there. I gotta go tomorrow. Oh well, it's not tomorrow. On Tuesday because it's Monday and the barbershops are closed. And Bob says, "Oh, Bob Gerard Runkle, how are you, man? Good to see you." I've never been to a Comic Con. He says, "How's the accessibility when going? I don't want myself in my wheelchair to get trampled." Well, that is a good question. There are varying accommodations, I'm pretty sure, per show, but I think they all are required to adhere to comply with regulations and stuff. So you should be fine. Different shows are have a certain have varying levels of crowd density. So that may be the thing that you're worried about. I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean, we got folks in wheelchairs all the time at the cons, and everybody accommodates them. Everybody's very good about it. So I don't think I would let that keep me off at all. Everybody, yeah, I mean, it's a very and it's the whole thing about the conventions is there's just so much inclusivity. Everybody just wants to be there and have fun, and whoever you are and whatever you need, you're gonna, people are gonna accommodate. So don't worry about it. And Cold Summer says, "I'm in the process of growing a mullet. I get the upper part of my hair cut and then let the back grow." Yes, it's easy, especially when you're like me and you're lazy about getting to the shop, to the salon, to get your hair styled like I do from time to time, monsieur. Yes. Let's see what else is going on. Let's see here. I'm going to say, okay, fine. All right. I see where this is. Brandon Smith says, "Look what the cat dragged in. Hey, Bob." Thank you. Yes. I do look like the cat dragged me in, actually. How are you, Brandon? Brandon was fairly recently my handler at a convention, and that was fun. We had a great time. I hope you'd had a great time. I know I did, and I appreciate your help. You did a great job. Um, and yeah, we're lots of shows coming up. I've got lots of things on the calendar. Let me see here. We've got questions like lots of things coming in here. La 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 la. That's okay. We're gonna have to ask. Oops, that's not the spelling of waffle. And Clarissa's reminding everyone, don't forget the waffles. Yes, it's time to make the waffles. Hi, Clarissa, and hi, Brandon, who says I like waffles. I do too. I really do. And Mark Tarrant says, "What make are those waffles?" Well, I'm not sure. I don't think it's like a Pontiac waffle. I have no idea. But industry changes and evolves over the years, over the decades, and the big waffle industry, just known as Big Waffle, uh, they change makes and models. There are different styles. They change the nameplates sometimes. So I don't, the ones that I make are, they're good old fashioned Eggo waffles very often in the toaster, and they do fine. Speaking of soliciting sponsorships, he said. Oh, okay. What's next here? Oh, we've got more stars, another 100 stars from Daniel Bessels. Thank you so much. And 250 stars from Amelia. Thank you, Amelia. Amelia, it's like it's weird. I should be paying her to be doing the modding, but she pays me instead. So, it's not like she has to. So, thank you, Emmy. I always appreciate your support. And Grace Turk did a $4.99 shout out. Hi for your birthday. Let's see. And I'm going to do this. Boom, 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 a super chat. Oh, that's a super chat, not a shout out. Oh, I see how this works. Yes, you're over on YouTube. Hi, Grace Turk. How are you? Grace says, happy belated birthday, Bob. I hope it was a great one. It was. It was great because I got so many awesome birthday wishes from folks like you, and I appreciate that. It was great. That was a lot of fun, and thank you for the super chat. And that's another way you can support me. If you're over on YouTube, you can purchase a super chat, and we will notice. We will take notice. And if sometimes at the end of a stream, we don't quite take notice of it soon enough to get you noticed and give you a shout out on live as we're live. But we try to as often as we can. So let's see what else. Joseph Harrison. Let's see. Well, what is this? Joseph says, why can't you make a dinosaur omelet? Because they're extinct. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. That deserves 2 rim shots. There's another one. Just because. Mr. Joseph Harrison Millsark, thank you so much. And I got 120 stars for that one. Thank you so much. And then another 80 and another 20. That's great. Thank you so much. Look at all these stars rolling in. I appreciate you. And just in case you're wondering, if you haven't looked, if I'm not mistaken, a star is like a penny, right? So 120 stars would be like $1.20. So 80 cents would be 80 stars. I think that's right. Isn't that right? I believe so. That's right. And Matt Parrish, 50 stars. Thank you, Matt. How you doing? Appreciate it. What else is going on here? Mark says, it's not selling out if it works. That's right. It's all about just being able to pay the bills, folks. Let me tell you. I mean, people say, how come you charge for this or that? And it's because I have to make a living like everybody else. Yes, Emmy says, yes. Oof, that's not much at all. I believe that's the way that works. Isn't that the formula? It's a penny per star or something like that. So, yeah, pretty awesome. I love doing that. And let's see what Nicholas has to say. Yeah, that's a good question, Nicholas. Hi, Nicholas. Nicholas shows up at conventions as well. It was great to see you. It was so great to see you, and I've seen so many great fans over the last couple of months. Has been just really rich with the fandom coming out, and that I appreciate. I'm going to add that back in again to say, Nicholas says, I know you've had your hands full lately. You mentioned starting a podcast. I hope that is in the pipeline soon. Yes, I'm doing very preliminary work on that, and I'm trying to build a potential guest list, and I'm going to try to start to recruit guests and such so that I have enough guests to take me through, for the next few months or whatever. And I've had a number of people who have a number of really great people, like great voice actors and folks who have said that they would be more than happy to join me as a guest, and so I appreciate them. And so I don't want to hype it too much because I actually have to put it all together and get it going. The one thing that I'm questioning right now is whether I should bring guests on live during my live stream, or just do a regular podcast where you record it and then you upload it. It would be a video podcast, of course. And so that's kind of, one of those two things. I'm not sure. I think what I'm going to end up doing is doing the podcast, and then when I do my live stream, I'll take a little clip from the podcast that's coming up next, and I'll put it up here, and so I'll promo that and let you know who's coming next. And I think that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. That's probably the simplest way to do it, and also the best way to promote the podcast, which one has to do as one does. So yeah. Oh goodness gracious, Daniel Bessels, you're too good to me. 1,000 stars from Daniel Bessels. Thank you so much. I'm so flattered. Everybody's just so nice. I appreciate all of your support. Um, and what I really appreciate is when folks come to the conventions, and some of the folks who've come more than one time, and it's so great to see somebody in the line that you've met before. You know who they are. There's a lot of folks I would never recognize necessarily because I've never met you and I haven't really interacted with you live. I haven't done a live chat with you or anything. So if you were in the line, I wouldn't know who you were. So a lot of people show up and they introduce themselves. So every once in a while, somebody will show up and they don't actually introduce themselves, and they'll just like they'll purchase an autograph or something, and they'll say to, make it out to Nick or whoever, and they won't introduce themselves, and I won't realize until partway through the conversation that this is someone who's been in my in the chat, in the live stream chat for a long time. And that's always a fun little surprise when people show up and you're talking to them and signing something for them, and all of a sudden you realize it's that person who's been on your live stream chat for so long. That's so great. I love seeing people who've been on the live stream chat, and I love the trading of stories that we do. We swap stories about things that happened when you were a kid, and things that happened, for when we were making Barney and everything. So that's awesome. That's a big part of one. That's one of the big parts of the best parts of going to a pop culture convention as a guest, is that you get to get all these stories. Really awesome. And let's see what else we can talk about here. Let's see. All right. All right. Here we go. Look out. Here's another one. Uh-oh. Here's another one. Joseph says, here's a joke for Barney. Why don't ducks tell jokes while they're flying? I don't know. How come? Because they'll quack up. Oh no, quack up. You don't want to crash. A crashing duck. Oh no. Oh boy. That's pretty funny. And I think, you know what? I think that deserves another rim shot. Let me see. May I do the honors? Oh, sure. Okay. Let's see if we can do this right here. We'll figure this out. Oh, we'll do this. Why don't we do it this way? Yeah, that's it. So we can get Barney to hit the rim shot button here. So I can make sure you can see it. Here we go. Okay. That was fun. I love doing rim shots. Oh, look, his schnoz is a little dirty, isn't it? A little bit. You got that schnoz dirt. These all get so dirty after a while. I've got a total of 3 now that are clean. I've got 2 that are pristine and still have the tags on them, and I've never used for anything. Just 2 Barney Buddies that are perfectly clean. And I've got a third one that I'm using, and that one is in the bag. Woo, let me out of here. What are you doing? Actually, it's kind of cozy in here. Yeah, he's cozy in there. And I take him to the conventions. Although after a certain number of conventions, they start getting dirty. That's one of those things. I have to ask my puppeteer friends what their opinion is on how does one best clean something like this. I bet you know how to do that. See, this pile on here, the plush on here, the fabric. It's like, how do you do that? So I've got this little spot right there on his nose, and that needs to be cleaned up. And I've got a couple other ones that have, it's funny, they all have the spot on the exact same place on their nose. Because when you put him down, if he's face down, that's where it goes. It just rubs up all the grunge that's on a table or wherever you are. Pretty bad. So So yeah, I mean, I would love to hear from my puppeteer friends who who might know how to do that. Let me go back to the chat here and scroll and scroll and scroll. I gotta talk to the folks who make the software and say, hey, when you come back from a search, it'd be nice to take you back down to the bottom of the scroll. Um, let's see up what here. Do. Oh, here's a good question. Here's a good question. Tim says, how does Barney feel about Weird Al Yankovic? And, well, I'm not sure how Barney feels, but I think he's hilarious. I think he's funny, too. he, I have appeared, as I recall. Yes, I have made a cameo appearance in one of his videos. And I actually met Al in the green room at a convention I guess about a month ago. And I talked to him and I told him how much I appreciate his work. And he's so nice. He's so great to talk to. He's just so cool. He's just having fun, you know? He's just one of those people who just has fun with life. And boy, howdy is he having some fun. And he makes it fun for us too. So yeah, that was fun. We didn't get a picture together. It's one of those things where when you're in the green room, you know, and you've got all these guests at a convention or something, everybody's supposed to be nice and chill, and you don't want to approach people. So you don't want to approach certain people at all because they kind of don't want to be talked to because they're pretty big stars and you know they get the pressure all the time. You know, everybody wants their attention, and that can be draining. That can be very, very heavy. And if you have to deal with that for a long period of time, then, you know, it's tough. So I totally understand that. But there are basically you don't want to approach people too much and ask them for things like photos and all that sort of thing. You don't want to fanboy over people because, again, the green room's supposed to be kind of an oasis, a little place to go and chill, something like that. But yeah, it's let's see, am I caught up here? Huh? Do I still have? Oh, there you are. There's Emmy. Uh, favorite Weird Al song? I have to think about that. That's a good question. And oh goodness, hey Matt Henry. Hey, how are you? Is it Louis or Lewis? Matt Henry Lewis Goldstein. And hey, Bob, he says, happy belated birthday and happy pride. Happy pride to you and happy belated birthday to me. Thank you. Happy birthday to me and happy pride to all who celebrate. I appreciate you. It's so funny. There's a lot of things I usually post about every year, and pride is one of them. I don't know that I've even made a single pride post this past month at all. But yeah, a lot of catching up to do. I'm so far behind. So yeah, that's that. But it's good to see you here. It's been a while since I've seen you in the chat. Glad to have you here. Movies. Da 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 da. I will answer. Try to. What other movies do I like? That's tough. Oh, I have such a broad. Um, I have such a broad, kind of sense of taste when it comes to movies. You know, kind of at the same time. Um, kind of like music at the same time. And Nancy, hi. I'm like, oh, Bob, long time no see. Long time no see. Welcome. Good to have you here. Oh, lots of good folks here. Let's see. When was the last time, Kyle asks, hi Kyle, that you visited a Chuck E. Cheese? Many years ago. Many years ago. It's been a long time. Long time. Let's see here. People are starting to talk about stuff in. And Matt says, I've been working with the big C lately. You know how Chuck is. Yes, Chuck, Mr. Entertain. When your middle name is Entertainment. Yes, you know, I know. Oh, yes. My middle name is Entertainment. Entertainment Cheese. That's pretty funny. I love that part of the canon. The Chuck E. Cheese canon It's also what's really funny is it's funny to think of Chuck E. Cheese having a cannon, isn't it? It's like yes, there's a cannon there, and it's formalized. Love that stuff. And Zeke says, "Hi Zeke, I miss the CEC animatronics. Yeah, so do I. But had to happen sooner or later. Expensive to take care of, and they're just kind of clunky. But they've got they've got other stuff going on. They've got the videos, but they've got the puppets. The puppetry is really great. They've been doing such a great job with those. Anthony, hi Anthony, one of our regulars. How are ya? Says, speaking of, I see Jasper and Pasquale sitting in the background. There they are, over there. So wait for this to go away so we can see Pasquale. And there it goes. there's Pasquale. There's Jasper, doing their thing. They're in that's the the cheap seats back there. What else is going on? Oh, okay. So let's see. Let's take a look at this. And let's see. Oh, hi Hannah. Nice to see you. How are you? Hannah's very nice. Oh, thank you so much. You're so nice to me. Speaking of being nice to me, hey everybody, how about a group hug? What do you think? Everybody? Yes? You ready? Ready, Hannah? Ready, everybody else? Yes? Okay. All right, here we go. Oh boy. Thank you so much, everyone. That was great. That was the biggest group hug ever, I think. It was like, well, there's at least 81 people in here right now. That's a big hug. My arms are not quite long enough to get around everybody, though. It's, all the tribulations of being a T-Rex. All right, what else? I'm so silly. La la la. Yeah, folks. Here's something that I probably should. It's never occurred to me before, and I know everybody that's here is very well intentioned, but I think it might be a good idea to not ask other people in the chat if you can send them a friend request, or to send a friend request to other people in the chat. It's probably a good idea to get to know people elsewhere, because there are a lot of people, a lot of scammers out there who pop into chats like this, and they say, I'd like to, send me a friend request, or I'd like to get to know you, or something like that. So it's really hard to tell the difference between somebody, especially if you're brand new to the group and you don't know people. Nice people like Nick. Nice people like Nick. Nick is very well intentioned, I know, but if you don't know Nick, no, don't apologize, Nick. That's quite all right, because this has just occurred to me. I've never seen anybody ask others if they can friend them before during the chat. So I think it's probably a good idea for everybody to kind of avoid that, either asking for or especially accepting a friend request from someone in the chat, especially if you do not know them. That's the thing. So let's kind of avoid that. And Emmy, I'll talk to you about adding that to our ground rules, so we can give people a heads up on that. That would be a yeah. Here we go. Yes, if you see an attractive woman asking you to send them a friend request, do not accept it. And that's true. People, the scammers, they always have some, gorgeous looking young woman, very attractive, and that's their profile picture, and they say, hey, you want to connect with me? And no, you don't want to do that. Yeah, as I said, Nick, you're very nice to apologize, but there's absolutely no reason to say you're sorry, because you were just being friendly, and I appreciate that. So even it never even occurred to me until just now. So and I'm very security minded. So we'll spread the word on that. We'll talk about that. So, and hey, Maddie says, Can we now please see other conventions you are going to? I'm so excited to know. Well, I think that may be my cue to fire up the PDF that tells the story. Are you ready? Okay. I think first of all we should have a little timpani roll. Yes. Okay. And here comes the PDF. I think this should be the right button. Yes. All right, here's the next one I'm going to. Right now, I'm getting ready, packing up and everything to go to Denver, go back to Denver for Fan Expo. And that's July 3rd through 6th. That's actually this coming this coming Thursday through Sunday. So it's a 4-day show. And that is, that's a long show. And that's why I have, four or five of these shirts. So that I can have one for every day and I don't have to worry about doing laundry on the road. So yeah, that's it. Fan Expo Denver. I mean, that's going to be a good one. Fan Expo has always been, for me, so far has been very good. Everybody, so many people are there and it's so great. And the shows are very well run. It's, they're very professional and they have, it's interesting when you go to as a guest to a Fan Expo, it's kind of like going to the Oscars because a lot of the people, not the handlers, the table handlers and folks, but the security people and the greeters outside and the people who escort you around and everything, they're all dressed black on black, which is the style of the Oscars security people and ushers and folks. Black suit, black shirt, black tie, that sort of thing. It's very, very classy. Very classy indeed. Okay, let's get back to this. Fan Expo Denver is the next one. And then the one after that would be Fan Expo Boston. Yes, going to Fan Expo Boston. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been to Boston. I used to go to Boston pretty much every year for about 7 years or so because I was on the conference faculty of Macworld Expo, the Macintosh show. And I would go to Boston and I would go to San Francisco. And that was a lot of fun. That was a long time ago. But I'm going back to Boston. And that's going to be August the 8th through the 10th of this year. And we are going to have a great time there because, first of all, Boston's an awesome place. I want to get out. I want to get out and see some of the sights again. And yes, oh look, Maddie's gonna be there. Woohoo! Yay! Hey, good to hear you. Oops, let me do that. So this is how we can see what you're saying better. Now we'll be able to see it. There we go. You gonna be there in Boston? Awesome. That's great, Maddie. I hope to. I'm sure that we will see each other there. I will be there, health permitting, and everything else, travel permitting. I'll have hopefully, fingers crossed, I will have an easier time traveling than I have over the last couple of months. It's a real ID thing. It's been pretty wild. So, there's that. There's Fan Expo Boston, August 10th, 8th through the 10th. That's this coming. Oh, not this coming week, but that's the one after this one. Denver's next. Then I go to Boston. And then after Boston, I go to Chicago. That's right. August 15th through the 17th. Chicago. That's a 3-day show. And it says on the little tile that they give you here, that the promotional thing, the promotional graphic, it says meet animation star Bob West. Technically, Barney's not animation, right? Although, with the animatronics from Chuck E. Cheese, that's animation. It's live. It's mechanical animation, right? So I guess it's okay. I guess that works out. But that's Chicago Fan Expo. Yes, I'm looking forward to that one too. Lots of Fan Expo here. And folks, I've still got between now and March of this coming year, I've got 11 shows or something, I think, lined up. So I hope to be able to come to a show near you. And that reminds me, if you have a particular convention that you would like to see me at near you, contact the promoter for that show, whether it's, GalaxyCon or Fan Expo or whoever, and let them know that you would like me to see me at their show as a guest. and that will help get me in the door because the more interest that people show in a particular voice actor or whoever, whatever kind of guest, the more likely it is that we will be able to get there because they have to invite us to the show. So that's how that works. So thank you for everybody who's put in requests for me in the past. Love it, love it, love it. And Emmy says, Macworld Conference? No, Macworld Expo. It was a big thing back then. Nerd. She's right. I was on the conference faculty. You have to be an official nerd to be on the conference faculty. You have to be an official nerd, and I should probably have an official nerd membership card. Card carrying nerd is what I should be. Oh man. All right. So that's Fan Expo Chicago, August 15th and 17th. And so here is what is this? Another one? Another show announcing soon, July. In July of this year, I'll be at another show. I'll be at a pretty big show in July. I can't talk about it yet, not publicly, but it's over somewhere on the eastern side of the country, he said. And so, it's a pretty good sized show. I mean, it's a big show. So, wish I could talk about it, and I will announce it as soon as I can. As soon as they announce me, then I'll be able to announce publicly which show this is in July. But stay tuned. If you're in the eastern United States, then then please, we will see. We will see what happens, and that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Brandon. What happens in July? It's going to be a convention, and I can't tell you which one, but I will tell you as soon as they announce. So here is the convention schedule for right now. So yeah, that's 10, that's like 11, that's almost, where was that, 12 almost, I guess? Something like that. So we've got, in July, Fan Expo Denver, 3rd through the 6th. Then we've got another one in July, can't talk about it yet. August, Fan Expo Boston, 8th through the 10th. Fan Expo Chicago, 15th through the 17th. September, 2 conventions. October, nothing booked yet, but we will see. November, 1 convention booked. In December, again, that's open, but hopefully we will add something. Oh yeah, and by the way, in September, I added another convention to September, so that's 2 instead of just 1, which we had talked about previously. So, then December, stay tuned, March 26th, I have 2 conventions in that month. And so that's a lot of conventions. It's a lot of travel and a lot of frequent flyer miles, he said. Thank goodness. One of the nice perks of traveling as a guest. And it's just so fun being able to get out, especially, I've talked about this before. One of the best parts of it is not just meeting fans and trading stories and everything, but also meeting other voice actors, especially people who are, the greats who come to these things, and you get to know them some. And, sometimes you all go out to dinner together, and it's a really wacky dinner. And we're famous for those wacky voice actor dinners at these conventions. Really are. So let's see. So yeah, so stay tuned, and I will have more announcements coming. I will tell you as soon as I can about that one in July, and we will hopefully get together, you and I, and that will be fun. Let's see, what else have we got from Emmy? What else do we have? Let's see. Okay. Cousin's Film has a joke. Here we go. What do you get when a dinosaur crashes its car? A Tyrannosaurus wreck. Oh no. Thank you very much. Keep the jokes coming, folks. Tyrannosaurus wreck. Oh, that's what I feel like. That's what I feel like when I haven't had my caffeine in the morning. A Tyrannosaurus wreck. Oh. Sorry. Oh, that's okay. Okay. I'm out of here now. He just has to interject sometimes. He just does that. It's all right. It's okay. Um, what else? What else we got on? Let's see. I'm gonna do this. Oh, Michael. Hey, Michael. How are you? Welcome back as always. Michael says, I just got on. Forgot I'm on Central Time now. Hope you had a great birthday, my friend. I did have a great birthday. And did you move? Did you have a move in your life? Sounds like you moved. Welcome to your new home, if that's the case. And I hope it's a good one. I hope it was an easy-ish move. Moving is never really easy. Not super easy, but I hope it was fairly painless for you. What else? What else? I'm scrolling and I'm scrolling. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Here's a funny one, but it's true. Purpley voice. Hey, how are you? A regular. Nice to see you as always. Does it ever happen that someone says they can hear Barney in your normal voice? Never outside of context. Never, nobody's ever done that outside of context, But when somebody like is introduced to me and we're talking, then every once in a while somebody will say, "Yeah, I kind of hear it in your voice," because that's normal because Barney hijacks my voice and changes it a bit for his voice. So yeah, he kind of sounds a little like me. It's kind of unavoidable. Yes. Oh my goodness. It's fun though. It really is. What's really interesting too is that sometimes when I meet people and they've got a really young child with them and I'm talking to the parents or whatever, and whether we're talking about Barney or not or whatever, the child will just kind of lock onto me and like stop and like, what does that sound remind me of? Huh? You know, kids can kind of hear it. I think a lot more than parents can. So, but that's fun. That's a lot of fun. Let's see what else. What else? What else? Yes, lots of conventions. That's the thing. Um, let's see what this is. Hey, Pat. That's a good question, Pat. What was Barney doing at a computer conference? That's a really good question. Having fun, actually. Barney was having fun. I did the Macworld Expo as a conference faculty member because and here's nerd alert. Speaking of which, I was a big Macintosh proponent back in the day. I used to do a lot of I did tutoring, and I was the president of the second largest computer user group in the world for 2 terms, which is the Apple. Sorry, the Apple Core of Dallas, which is a Dallas Fort Worth area user group for Apple and Macintosh computer users, and the membership was the second largest after only the Boston Computer Society. And so we had all kinds of user groups talking about different subjects and everything. And one of the things that I talked about was HyperCard. HyperCard was this amazing piece of software, which I miss like crazy because it was so easy to make things with. It's like if you think about a stack of cards, and each card can have its own script, and each object on that card, like a field or a button or a graphic or something, each one of those objects can have its own script. And the stack itself, the stack of cards, can have its own script, and they can all interact. And you can play sounds. And I mean, it was really powerful. HyperTalk was the name of the programming. Well, it was really a scripting language, and it was super English-like. Super easy to learn, super easy to use, and really powerful because of that. And I started doing lots of stuff in HyperCard. And I started as part of my my thing at Macworld Expo, I started doing presentations at the Macworld Expo of different HyperCard stacks that I'd made. And one of the stacks that I created was kind of like probably the most famous HyperCard stack of all time, which was, I think it was called Train Set, which was where you could take, you can actually arrange little bits and pieces, and all they were, and it was all, this is all black and white, bitmapped art at the time. And you could take buttons, little square buttons that you would put on the, on the screen, and the only graphic to it was like a section of track, or a car or two from the train, right? And you could drag them around, and you could just put it all together into a map, into a train track layout, and then you could hit start, and this little train would just go around through all the buttons and everything, and that was pretty cool. And I created a stack called the Rube Goldberg stack. Rube Goldberg was a cartoonist who used to make these cartoons of these super overcomplicated contraptions. Like if somebody wanted to pour like a glass of tea, he would make like a 20-step process. And he had all these goofy, there's like a boot that would kick over a bucket, and the bucket would dump into something, a funnel, and that would drive something over here, and something would swing and knock something over, and then finally the cup of tea would be poured. So that's what I did, was the Rube Goldberg stack, and there's no working copy of it that I know. Wish I had a video of it, but I like the train set. I had this where you could take different parts and you could place them onto the card, and all the bits and pieces would kind of talk to each other. So, if it's a boot, it can act on something that can be knocked over. So you could put that next to the boot, you put something that can be knocked over. And then, if you pour water into a funnel, and then the funnel goes into a tube, into a hose, and then the hose goes everywhere you want it to go. And once you trigger it, there's this little bulge that travels through the hose. It sounds like rubber. It was fun. It was just fun. And and when you get applause for creating a goofy computer program, that's a lot of fun. But to your question, and the question was, from Pat, was what was Barney doing at a computer conference? And Barney wasn't doing a lot.
Huh? What? I wasn't doing a lot. I was doing all the thinking for this guy. I'm actually the computer genius in the family. Just kidding. I was having fun, and, I was being introduced to people as, this other thing that Bob did. And every once in a while, I would show up with one of my clones, and we would throw them out into the crowd during our panel. We'd do giveaways.
Which was fun. People just had no idea. It was fun to do both things at once at Macworld Expo. I did this thing where, we'd have a giveaway. If somebody answered a trivia question or something, I would give them a Barney plush or something, and I would sign it. But that was a lot of fun. I used to go to San Francisco and to Boston, and we did a New York show a couple of times, New York Expo, and what else? One or two other cities. I didn't go to the DC show, but yeah, it was great because it was really cool too, because we got to talk to people from Apple, and we got to give them feedback on certain things, what we liked, what we didn't like about the new computer system, the new operating system or whatever. And we were kind of Apple's evangelists at the time. Now you got to remember, this is all way before the iPhone, way before the iPod and the iPhone, and it was really all about the Mac. And the Mac was just really kind of this magical thing that you could do all kinds of stuff with. And so there were so many things. I mean, the very first, well, not the very first thing that they ever did, but the Pixar, Luxo Jr., that little lamp, the desk lamp thing, they had this demo that they did of that. And that showed up at Macworld Expo. And at the time, nobody was doing computer graphics, computer, CGI animation at the time, anything like that. And there was this booth where somebody had grabbed that demo off of someplace, off a disc or something, and put it on a monitor. And it was one of the most popular booths at the show. People just gathered around and went, "Wow, they did this on a computer." Pretty cool. Anyway, I digress. So that's my talk about Macworld Expo. And I'll probably maybe sometime I'll do a podcast episode that where I'll bring on folks who had had some connection to Macworld Expo way back when. And I see that I got look, hey, Rock with Dan, super chat. Hi Dan, you know who you are, Mr. Bessels. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You're just all over the place, aren't you? I appreciate you're on both. So you're on both platforms. That's amazing. Here's hi John Phelps. How are you? Good to see you. Speaking of owing people screenshots, I owe you a couple of screenshots regarding conventions. How much does it cost to take a selfie with you at one? It's usually pretty often the same thing, and I try not to talk about prices and such too much because I don't want to make this about make it all about money. That's kind of icky to me. But for a selfie, it's usually, I believe it's $40. And if you want to get a signed photo, an 8x10, that's $40. A signed poster is $50. If you get anything signed or buy anything, but you also want to get a selfie, then we do an add-on, a selfie add-on, and the selfie would only be $20 then. So if you get two things, like a photo and a selfie, that'd be 40 plus 20, that'd be 60. And then we have, all kinds of other stuff. So the menu is available for you on our table, and you can see all the prices there. But the prices generally hover in that vicinity. A little bit more for things like the Funko Pops, of course. But so really fun. This is, let's see here. What? Let's see. Oh, is Emmy, you're answering questions for me? That's good. Thank you. This is good. Because I can't get to everything here. Oh my, boy, I'm really behind now. All right, so. What? Mark says, how many coffees are required before the 360 start kicking in? I don't know. Let's see if we can get Barney to do a 360 here.
Well, I haven't really had much coffee today. Just a little bit. Focus. Well, let's see if I can do a 360. Okay, you're stupendous.
That's as close to a 360 as I can do. Whoa! That's more like a what? 480? I don't know. Can he do it?
Yeah.
There we go.
Whoa!
Plus juggling.
Caffeine. What? Coffee. What's coffee?
All right. There's a clip there. Yep, I'd say Barney had his coffee. Peanut butter and jelly coffee. There's an interesting thought. I'm sure it exists somewhere. Someone must have created it. Must have. Oh, all right. Let's see. What else? What else we got here? Oh, this is sweet. I like this one. This isn't really a joke because it's true. I mean, it's funny. It's a good pun. And Wacky Emma, being wacky, said, why did Barney bring a ladder to school? Because he wanted to help his friends reach new heights in learning. And look at that. There's even a step ladder emoji there. That's good. Thank you, Wacky Emma. That wasn't so wacky after all because it was just so reasonable and very true. Thank you very much. Oh, look at that. Oh, my little. That's really interesting. I didn't realize my software actually has a little separate tab for super chats, so I can see them all at once. That's interesting. I like that. So I can see Grace and I can see Daniel, separately, and to make sure that I notice. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. I like this stuff. You know, it must have been an improvement in the software. Speaking of which, I hope everything is looking okay, streaming well because it's been a long time since I streamed, and I got started early on my tech to make sure that the streaming would actually happen today because there were software updates and all kinds of stuff, and just wanted to make sure that I could be seen and heard because that's very important that you see and hear me. Very important. Speaking of being seen but not heard, here's my brother, Bro Dude. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul West, Dr. Bro, Big Daddy Keys from Sweet and Sour Duo. My brother and my niece, Lindsay, have a duo. And sometimes my nephew, Bobby, they get together and they become a trio. And they do gigs up there in Wisconsin, and I'm going to see them soon. Oh, speaking of which, Paul, let me know if that schedule, if the Chicago schedule works for you, because and just send me a DM on that. Don't post, publicly. So, but let me know if that works out for you because I need to actually change my flight. So, we will take care of that business. Yes, and I'm glad you're here. Good to see you as always. Here's here we go. Daniel says, at the recent shows, any really cool memorabilia you have signed that someone has brought? Yeah, there have been some really rare items. In the past, I had somebody bring like a really old, kind of beat up Sega Genesis. The Barney's hide and seek game, right? And I signed that. That was cool. I'll take anything in any shape, pretty much, if it's signable. And then a couple of other times people brought those in, but just like a couple of weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, somebody brought into a show one of those, like the complete package in the original cardboard package. And it was in such great shape, it looked nearly new. And that was very cool. I was really happy to see that. That was very, very, very cool. But we've had, all kinds of stuff. There was somebody with a plate. It was like I don't know whether the plate was meant to be for eating from or for use as an artist's palette. Because Barney is on it, like, one or two images of Barney as an artist with a palette, and the plate is one of those that's divided. It's got like ridges in it where it's divided into 3 different parts. So you could use it as to put, to eat, but you could also use it to paint. And I hope people didn't use it for both because some paints are really toxic. Hopefully not kids paints. Kid paints are, they're non-toxic, but hope nobody got any heavy metals in their dinner from that. Don't send me the bill. I'm going to tell you. And here's a question from Kyle. Hi, Kyle, again. Have you met Eric Bauza, voices of Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and Porky Pig? I have. He is a really nice guy. We've met, and I've got he signed something for me, just immediately ripped something off for me. And it just occurred to me the other day when I ran across this photo that he signed for me that I'm not positive that I was able to get back to my table and bring him something. So I may owe him a photo. Not that he's like, missing it or anything. Eric. But yeah, I'll have to check in with him the next time I see him. I think he's going to be at a show, one of the shows that I'm going to be at soon. So I'll say hello to him and see what's going on. I owe him. Yes. Let's see if I can let's see here. What do? This is a really good point. Malik says, "Hi. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Pop quiz, hot shot. What does Barney and Big Bird have in common? While Barney is a dinosaur himself, birds are descended from or descendants of dinosaurs. That's very true. Um, Barney's not really a lizard. He's like a big bird, a proto bird, if you would like to say a proto bird, a before the birds kind of guy. He's for the birds, that guy. I mean, Barney's really for the birds. What? What did you say? You're for the birds, like you're very pro bird. Oh, well, that sounds nice. I like that. Fuzzy again. All right. Well, listen, everybody. Let's see. It is now 7:14 p.m. and I'm going to go back and I'm going to just review this schedule one more time, just so that you see what's going on. Let's go back to the very beginning. Very beginning. So we get this in order. First coming up is Fan Expo Denver. That starts this coming Thursday. That's July 3rd through the 6th. And you can see me there in Denver at Fan Expo, which will be a great show. If you go to their website, fanexpodenver.com, we'll get you there. We'll show you the guest list. And boy, are there some big stars there. I am very honored to be considered to be good enough to be amongst them. I appreciate that. Thank you, Fan Expo. Let's see. Next we have Fan Expo Boston, August 8th through the 10th. And again, amazing stuff going on there. Then we have the next one will be in Chicago, August 15th through the 17th. And I will see you there, I hope, because it's just way too much fun. It's just not as much fun if there's nobody there. Never been to a convention where there was nobody there. I'm sure there will be somebody there. But then there's this show in July that I can't announce yet over on the eastern side of the United States. And I'll be announcing as soon as I can. As soon as they announce it, I will tell you about it. I will. And there's the whole schedule. You want to screen grab that, and that's how you get it right there. So yeah, stay tuned. More announcements coming soon. Lots of fun, lots of cons, all kinds of stuff. And let's take care of some business right now. And this is Cameos. Cameo is offline right now, and I'm not taking orders, but I'll be back soon, maybe a couple of weeks, something like that. Cameo.com/yes, that Bob West. That's this one right here. As if there's any other. And then if you want a live personal video chat, you can get a hold of me at bobwest.com/video chats. I may have to, I have to go back and I have to check my schedule. That reminds me, I have to block out the times that I'm going to be at the conventions because it's tough to do them then. But Planet Bob Shop is where you can get various things like Waffle Cult merchandise. You can get the Waffle Cult stuff going on, as always. And look out. Oh, dangerous waffles. The edges aren't usually too sharp, but I'm kind of careful about it. Look out. Oh, yeah. Come on, guys. I mean, bunch of rowdies. Man, I tell you. It's really dangerous in here. Really is. And speaking of merchandise, I have not done the Streamily thing recently, and it's gonna be happening less often than it used to because I'm doing so many shows, so many conventions. It's hard for me to schedule times to do signings, live stream signings and stuff. And but I will let you know when the store opens again, and then you'll be able to go to streamily.com/yes that Bob West and buy something there. But then Oh, that was interesting. Boy, that got muted in two different places. Okay, so there's a little tech glitch that I will have to fix. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you telling me about it. Still muted. Oh, no. Just before I started talking about Facebook. Let's see. Just after? After about Facebook? I don't know. So, yeah, so I think, let me see. I'm going to do a little test here. I'm going to do this. There's that. There's the shop chain. There's those addresses. And there's this one. And there's the autograph store, streamily.com. And here's like, I bet this is where it's going to happen right here. Huh? Not muted? Oh, I'm not muted. Oh, interesting. It didn't happen that time. Huh. Well, there's a little glitch in there somewhere, and I'll have to get in there. So yeah, that's the way it's going. I hope I wasn't muted that time. Thanks for watching the bug test. which wasn't successful because I couldn't figure out what in the world is going on. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming. And I will see you at the next one. Hopefully, I will see you at the next convention that I'm going to. And let me know. Let the local promoters know if you want to see me as a guest at their show, and I will hopefully be there because they have to invite me. Got to remember that.
Yes, very good thing to remember. Okay, all right, everybody, we gotta go now. But remember, we love you. Okay, gotta go. See ya.
Bye.